went to bed crying. I was so tired. I went to bed crying. Thinking about that dream. Thinking about that other dream where I got triggered by MJ's reading yesterday. The 2022 forecast. I'm just thinking, like, is that really a dream about the future, or is it just to trigger emotions, you know? To trigger more healing. 'Cause I'm still in it, so. I'm been crying. It's like, okay, if it's to trigger more emotions that I blocked off, fine, you know? I'll feel it. That's what I need to do. Just the idea of entertaining potential energy, just, I don't like it. I don't like it. Ah. I think it's because it instills hope. It instills hope of a particular outcome. But it's not fair. To other people, it's not fair. Because it's just the outcome that I want. So anyways, I was just struggling with that. But the dream that I had was totally not related. I had a lot of dreams as I kept waking up. But, the one that stands out the most I'm at the house in Diamond Bar. It's the more affluent community. And it's being remodeled. It's being fixed. But it's being fixed by, like, there's a bunch of actors in it, like, inside. And there's this element of, like, filming going on. But it's like the outside is the house that I grew up in when I was living in the affluent community. But when I go inside, it's a little different. But you see, like, all the movement, like all the people, like the actors. There's the food to a place to get food. There's, you see a bed, and but it's one of those feelings where it's like a low, not a low budget, but yeah, like a low budget film. Like, it doesn't have all the luxuries, so it's very like, everybody's doing multiple things. So even the actors are like cleaning and doing, you know, like there's this element of everyone's helping out in different ways. I hear Noah's name being called. But there's another guy there, and both of them were in bed. Like they were, one was being called out for helping out too much, and the other one was called out for not helping out enough. And I'm walking through, so there's this element where I'm like, I'm a part of it, but I'm not at the same time. And there's a little bit of confusion. I feel confusion. I feel, there's this element where I'm standing in line for food. I'm trying to find like themes or symbols, but it was just completely like a scene that I'm like, I don't know where this is from. But there's this other element of that I need to leave. There's this element that I need to leave. I need to sneak away. And so I tried to. People had left. People had left to do something. They had left to go to another event, and it was family. Like there was this feeling that it was family that left, and so I was using that opportunity to just sneak away. so there was almost this other element of like, I'm trapped in here, like people won't let me go, and I'm needing to sneak away. And so I'm so knowing that everyone's like gone, I come out the front steps, and that's how I know it's the house in Diambar. I'm like, oh dang, it's the house in Diambar. There's a car, and it's being blocked. Like they were starting to come back, the family. And I say the family because these are people I don't know. They're people I know. Well, they are family, but there's this big question of like, I know you're my family and some of you aren't, but why are you coming back to this house? You don't live here, type of thing, but they do. So there's the element of control. There's this element of control. There's this element of control and this fear of like, I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be controlled. And by family, really. And like people start driving, and like people are just like, I know people are coming. I'm like, shoot, I need to leave. I need to leave. And I'm trying to get into this one car, but it's blocked by someone else. And it looked ready to go, but the moment that I go in to this car, now it's missing the doors, or like the doors, some of the doors are coming off. It's missing certain car parts, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like it was ready to go, but now it's needing attention. It's needing the the stuff put together so I could drive away. And I'm like trying to get the people to like hurry up and put it together so I can drive away, because there was someone else who was coming, and I didn't want that person to see me leave, because there was this element of like, I was gonna get in trouble. Like they were gonna hurt me. There was this element of like, they were gonna hurt me if they got there, and if they saw that I was trying to leave. And my aunts are there, like on my dad's side. Like a lot of it is like my dad's side of the family, but at the same time it's like a combination of my dad's side, my ex's family, but there's still this element of like, I can't be with them. Like there's this, I need to get away, I need to get away feeling of like, this is not where I belong. That was that feeling like, this is not where I belong. And they're coming, and there's this fear of being stuck, being captured, being imprisoned, being hurt. Like there was this fear, like they're gonna hurt me, they're gonna hurt me. Or not be happy with me or something. And I just needed to get away. I didn't like it. I didn't like that feeling. Like there was kind of like if I was being taken advantage of, maybe, or this element of people wanting too much of me. Like just taking from me, just taking from me. And there's this element of they're just wanting to keep me the way they want me. And I'm trying to get out. I don't know why I had that dream. I don't know why. Or what it's trying to communicate. I don't like it. I didn't like that I felt I needed to run away, to sneak away on top of that. And it, you know what it felt like? So I finished watching My Brilliant Friend on HBO Max a couple days ago. It felt like that. Like the part where she's season 2, she's trying to get away. So she's stuck in this family. And back in the day, right, 40s, 50s, it's like women were, there was this element of like, I mean, once you got married, and you were like enslaved almost. Like that was your life. You had no other choice, especially if you weren't educated. And so in that movie, it's an Italian movie. She's trying to, she realizes, Lila realizes that her parents, her brothers, her dad and her brother kind of sold her or convinced her, manipulated her to marry into this family that she didn't trust. And they find a way to gain her trust, but he betrays her. And she's just having a hard time, really, because she's really stubborn. And she has a really hard time kind of forgiving him. And then he beats her. He starts beating her, and she's trying to get out. And everyone kind of like knows, but no one's acknowledging it in public. You know that she did something wrong, and she even says like, "Oh, I fell." And they're like, "Oh, you know," and you could tell like with their faces, right? Like they kind of know, but they're, "Oh, okay, you fell," right? And it just kind of shows her struggle in that marriage and her desire to leave, and how when she does try to like exert some type of control, like everyone around her, her family, his, not so much his family, because he didn't have like, I think it was his dad had died, so it was more her, like her dad, her brother were like forced her because they beat her too. Even like as an adult, they beat her. And then there's like these mobsters in the town, or this really wealthy family that kind of controls everything. And even they are like knocking at the door, like really pissed off at her. And it's so there's this element of like she can't even escape, like she's trying to, and then she does, and it's just this whole fiasco. So it felt like that. It felt like even the people, you know, they were family, and it's like this knowing, like, I know they're family, but there's this element of like they're playing a part, they're playing a role, and it's still this fear of like they want me to be a certain way when I'm not, or something. I need to sit with this a little longer. That was just, I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to look it up. That's all. I just wanted to talk about that. Alright. Hi. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me. So